My Little Pony has been around for almost 30 years now, with Friendship is Magic marking the 4th generation of the franchise, and according to a lot of people, this is the first time they've gotten it right. The show has just exploded in popularity on the internet, and it's reached out to a whole generation of adult male fans who previously never even thought the series could be watchable, and I have to admit, I'm one of them. If you'd asked me a year ago if I'd ever be a fan of My Little Pony, I'd say you were crazy, and today it's one of my favorite shows. And the funny thing is, it doesn't grab you right away, it kinda sneaks up on you. So you watch the premiere and you'll think, that was okay. I mean, I guess I'll check out the next episode just to see where they go with this. And next thing you know, 10 episodes later, you're like, what? How did this happen? When did I start liking these characters? I don't even remember, but hell yes, let's watch the next episode now! It's taken me a long time to sort out my thoughts on the show. This is actually the 3rd time I've attempted to write a review for it, and I really can't even count this as a review. It's just a collection of random thoughts that I've had. Originally, I was going to take the standard approach and do a scene-by-scene analysis of the premiere episodes, making funny observations while talking about how it still managed to keep me interested because of the great animation, the mythology that makes up the show's universe, and the well-defined characters who only get better in the episodes that follow. Then I thought, instead of focusing on one episode, maybe I should break down all the different aspects of the show that make it good, and I thought about how the characters are all balanced and interact naturally, and how the episodes all play out like a mix between Powerpuff Girls and classic Looney Tunes, and how the show manages to be educational without talking down to its audience, and how the whole thing gets even crazier and more fun when you factor in the fan community. I mean, seriously, the people working on Friendship is Magic have shown more direct support to their fans than any other show I've ever seen. Regardless of whether you know who this character is, the fact is that we are currently witnessing a children's show that has been partially influenced by the internet. That is simultaneously one of the scariest and most awesome things I can think of. Anyway, I was going to talk about all of that, and in fact I might still do that later. But then something else happened. I tried to watch the show with a friend of mine who'd never seen it before. Now, keep in mind, the show was created by Lauren Faust, who also created Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and my so-called friend is a huge fan of Foster's. He's also a fan of Death Note, Drawn Together, and Doctor Who, all of which are tied in some way to Friendship is Magic, though for the Doctor it's mostly just fan speculation. He laughed at some of the jokes and reacted to some of the big moments on the show, but mostly he just did a lot of whining. No, he was not complaining. He was whining. In the end, his assessment was that the animation was good, the voice acting was good, and the writing was good. His only real problem with it was basically that it was My Little Pony. And I've noticed that a lot of other people seem to hate the show for the same reason. But honestly, that doesn't make any sense. It's like watching Transformers Prime and going, hey, I just wanted to watch Sam Witwicky yell at his girlfriend like a giant douche nozzle with Tourette's. What are all these fucking robots doing here? I mean, yes, the show is called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Yes, it's about ponies. Yes, they're learning about the magic of friendship. But the premise alone doesn't make it good or bad. It's how well it's implemented. And I would argue that it's done very well here. And look, I get it. I'm not saying that you have to like the show. There are plenty of legitimate reasons for not liking it. Maybe you just don't like cartoons. Maybe you don't like the characters for some reason. Maybe the first episode you saw was showstoppers. I don't know. But if you can watch the show and have a good time and say that everything about it is good, but that you still hate it because it just happens to be part of a franchise that you previously had no interest in, seriously, get the fuck over yourself. This is the reason so many TV shows suck, because we don't take the time to appreciate the ones that get it right, the ones that truly appeal to a broad audience, the ones that make you think about a particular genre in a way that you never thought you would before. Isn't that reason enough to give it a chance? And okay, if we're being completely honest, there is some personal bias to consider here. Different people are interested in different things after all. And personally, my interests go all over the place. So like with superheroes, I think the dark and gritty Batman stories are awesome. And I also like the crazy, quirky fun that you get from the Iron Man movies, but sometimes I also like to see a good guy who's just a good guy. Likewise with cartoons, sometimes I like to watch a kick-ass action show like the new Thundercats, which by the way, everyone should be watching if you aren't already. And sometimes I like to watch shows about candy-colored ponies with pet alligators going insane, killing their parents, and then learning about the importance of good social interaction. But, whatever you want to do is fine.